So I was a big fan of the character of Rose and Kelly Marie Tran's performance. So I was very disappointed when her role was cut back significantly in episode 9. I recently rewatched the movie and thought to myself, man, they did her so dirty. They only gave her like 2 or 3 lines in this movie. I wonder how many words she actually speaks. So I counted, and in The Rise of Skywalker, Kelly Marie Tran speaks exactly 69 words. Nice.
Good morning, and welcome to A Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast in which we analyze, we scrutinize, we celebrate the rise of Skywalker, 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.fun.
And I'm John, a little East Coast flavor.
And I'm Mel Adam, former host of Nerd Geek Dork. Where'd those glasses come from? .com.
You've always worn them.
Oh.
Yeah, you had them on before.
Come on.
Well, thanks for coming back for minute 69. 69.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Up top.
Of the rise of
My
Skywalker.
brother.
Minute 69, up top, it's the gang coming over across a grassy hill on Kef beer. We didn't even discuss Kef beer
Head
yet.
for the mountains of Kef beer.
And it ends a minute later with the Sith daggers snapping into place on the wreckage of Death Star 2 on the move.
Hi-yo.
Oh, it's not on the move at all. It's got us very stationary. Yeah, it's a pretty stunning visual there when we see the reveal of the Death Star section with waves splashing around and these giant waves moving around.
Yeah.
Love the way.
Was that in the teaser
Yeah,
trailer? I feel like that
I think so.
was in there.
And then oddly we get this bit of exposition where Dio's like, what is that? And they have to be like, well, it's the Death Star, you see.
Death Star's like give the Jedi his power.
And I feel like that would be a perfect opportunity. That would be a good line for C-3PO he just had his memory erased. He'd be like, oh my, what a...
He does say "oh dear" in this scene, though,
Yes.
which also seemed to me like a bit of like that
Weird.
throwaway dialogue, but like
He starts singing "Oh Darling," but they couldn't pay for it.
There was a deer off screen.
oh dear.
A female
Oh,
deer?
dear. Yeah, it seems odd that he would, why not give that to C-3PO? I guess you wanted to,
We're surprised. The director wanted to give himself a line in the movie. What a
Right.
shock.
He's a regular EV99, that guy.
He should have had all the rest of the dialogue. It should have just been Ray and Dio the whole rest of the movie.
Right. Ray, Dio, Gaga. It's a bad place from an old war. I like that.
That's a good
description.
line.
That is a good line. It's better than "oh dear." Definitely.
Well, then he could have had a comedy thing like, oh, Dio. And Dio's like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like, no, not Dio, Dio. Yes. No.
Somebody called me.
I'm 37. I'm not old. This war was old.
Right.
I have some information here on Kef beer.
Please.
IPA.
the planet.
Pilsner?
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah.
That was going to be my joke.
We assume it's pronounced Kef beer. Do they ever say it in the film?
I think so, don't they?
I don't know.
Kef
You
beer.
think Disney would come after someone if they did like Kef beer and spelled it beer? And then,
We'll find out.
Yeah, I've
Go to
discovered
StarWarsMinute.com/merch and check out
All
our
right.
Kef beer shirt.
you could get away. We should do like a beer logo.
I would love that.
Is it Pabst Blue Ribbon or like what's the best beer logo?
Miller High Life.
Budweiser, kind of Coors Miller. Like, yeah, we got to come up with a good beer logo and turn it into Kef beer.
The picture
beer.
of one of those horses running on it. Those
know,
animals.
a blue moon with the Death Star.
There you go. I feel like somebody's done that though.
Yeah, that seems
I
like it's
don't know.
probably done.
Now Duff. It's got to be Duff beer because it's Kef beer.
Let's not get sued by
So we'll
two
do the
people.
Duff. We want to get sued twice.
All right.
Well, Disney owns Fox, so it's all,
there
it's
you
all
go.
the
So
same.
it's
Just one
Oh,
lawsuit.
okay, yeah.
That makes them much easier for us to
It's
do
one
stuff
company,
like this.
but they sue you twice. That's how they
Yeah.
It's a class actions lawsuit.
It's a class action versus Kef beer.
Kef beer,
Kef
aka IX3244C. That is the designation for the planet in the Star Wars Visual Dictionary. I assume the IX stands for Episode 9, but I could be wrong. It's known as the ocean moon of Endor. Endor, of course, is the gas giant planet which the moons all orbit, including the forest moon, which we saw back in Return of the Jedi.
So Endor is like a magic player. It's just I've got my...
How so?
Right.
This planet is my forest. This is my swamp. This is my water. This is my fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Like fire.
It's very well balanced,
Yeah.
distribution.
Yeah, ideally.
This is
You
my
want that,
steel type planet. This is my grass
Personally,
type planet.
I never think of ocean when I think of moon, so it's that challenged my whole philosophy of life.
Except for that one time that Billy Ocean mooned you.
That was nice. That was during a full moon.
Get out of my dreams.
Into my Kef beer.
Into Kef beer.
The planet
that could be
is
part of the commercial, and we'll get sued by Billy Ocean as well.
Yeah. It's always been a goal of mine.
the moon. It's not a planet. Is 3,275 kilometers, which is pretty small. It's about a quarter the size of the Earth.
How many round
And,
Empire
little
State
bit-
Buildings?
Yeah.
I'd say around one at Empire State Building.
So, do you think that has to do with? That affects the waves. Like, there's such a huge amount of a volume of water, but low gravity.
Yeah, you would think the moon itself would have very low gravity, being somewhere between the Earth and the moon in terms of it's closer to the moon than the Earth. Let's put it that way.
It'd be cool if this was the
So,
planet from Interstellar, and then it's connected.
They did. Yeah,
Matthew
they did.
McConaughey.
I was going to say, if
Another
it's
big
between
wave, yeah.
the moon and New York City, then the best that we could do is fall in love.
on the moon in Kef Beer City.
Kef beer
Go ahead. Kef beer.
is an Ewok word.
Oh,
Yes.
This planet is they. So this Kef beer was an Ewok word, and apparently there was a movement afoot to change the name of Endor to Tana, Tana, which is the Ewok word for the planet Endor.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it was taken up by the Republic. But of course, real world events interfered, and it was never resolved before the Republic was, I guess, broken up with the destruction of Hosnian Prime. That still remains to be seen. But hopefully, the Ewoks will get their day in court.
So
Oh
to change
dear,
the,
is all I can say.
that guy's wise. They wanted to change the name of the forest moon or the planet itself, the gas giant.
The gas giant.
Oh, all right. Do we think
Tanner?
Yeah.
Like
is Endor? Do we think the Ewok name for the forest moon, or do they?
Well, that's a good question. Let me look in the Star Wars Visual Dictionary.
Please.
Jana
I have a little bit
Kef
of information about Kef beer,
Buckwheat's been shot.
ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Wheat.
Generalissimo Francisco Franco. The moon used to be almost entirely water. As Alex said, it's called the ocean moon, and there used to be almost no land, or maybe no land on it at all. But since the destruction of the second Death Star, kind of a nod to the Endor apocalypse theory that was going around, all the getting kind of pelted by all the debris and the kind of shift in the way things were in the area post destruction of the second Death Star, it's caused kind of seismic instability, which has caused some land masses to jut up, and so now there's a couple of areas, couple of land masses to land on. So
That's kind of cool.
Interesting.
yeah, and but that does also then pin down. Obviously, we know we'll get there shortly, and probably I don't know if we'll have a lot to talk about, or it might just be all eye rolling, except for me. But the we're kind of pinned into a time frame with how this debris landed, how the land masses came to be, and the Sith dagger kind of corresponding to that.
Oh, God, that dagger.
You know what I mean? How?
I have an interesting on the Wikipedia
Okay.
about the planet. It says there that the explosion of the Death Star reactor led to abnormal physics,
Oh,
and several
that-
masses.
that was the sequel to
Several
Weird
massive-
Science.
Everything in this seems like abnormal physics. That's the word I've been looking for.
Oh.
Several massive
Abnormal
pieces.
physics.
Abnormal.
Several massive pieces of debris launched into hyperspace. No scientist or sentient beings witnessed the event or could explain what variables prevented a catastrophe. So I guess they're saying, even though there seems to be no way that this big chunk of the Death Star could have landed here, here it is. We just have no explanation for how this is physically. New physics are required to account for why.
Solve for why.
Solve mystery.
Or the Force. Maybe this also, we get 2 for this. And they're like a Sith portal opened up, transporting big chunks of the Death Star 2 to Exegol with Palpatine's body, where then that was used to kind of restart. They used the technology in there to help kind of jumpstart the Sith fleet, and they use that to help kind of restore him, bring him back from life.
Or
from life.
They bring him back from
I
life.
posit that not only is Endor a gaseous planet, it's also a Jedi. Kind of like Mogo of the Green Lantern Corps,
Right.
and use the Force to protect everyone in its system.
Wow.
Yeah.
I go with
whole-
abnormal physics.
The whole planet is
Abnormal
one big
physics.
Jedi.
Yep.
Apparently, after the crash, however, there was toxic leakage from the Death Star, which poisoned all the aquatic life for kilometers around.
Damn you, Lloyd Kaufman.
That one.
So,
Toxic Avenge of the Jedi.
So much for that. The population of the planet, 40. We're about to meet all
40.
of them. And
Got
the
a 40
local
at Kef beer.
40.
The local fauna include the blub, cliff springer, cloud
that a
ripper,
transformer?
shallow buck,
Yeah, these are all Decepticons. I think.
Cloud
and the
Ripper.
striped acanth.
The camp
Wow.
stuff.
Striped canth.
Did they find that in someone's
Camp.
trunk? That's a very
I like
deep
the Cloud
reference
Ripper,
there. Coelacanth
like Blub the
Volkswagen
best.
commercial.
Yeah.
Ah.
Over my head.
And those of you who want to experience this Kef beer for yourself, go on Star Tours. It's officially one of the planets that the ship gets lost and goes zooming around.
I thought you would say it's
Do
a
you crash
drink.
land on the...
I got
Yeah,
excited.
I was excited. Very,
It's a
very
movie,
much
a planet,
excited.
and a drink.
We
I
can make
did
a Kef beer
Star
drink.
Tours last year. I think I remember Kef beer.
How many
Maybe,
times?
Once.
Yeah. We did it once, Alex and I.
Once.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I
was,
did it other times, but
Well, yeah. I'm a we.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the royal we, the editorial we.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone?
So then she
okay.
takes out the dagger.
the puzzle blade. Yeah. Here we go.
I like when she pulls it out of the cloth bag. It goes shink. It makes a noise like she's pulling it out of like a sharpener.
Yeah.
It's like a,
But
a medieval scabbard.
yeah, I also love that it's convenient that in that moment she's like, "Oh, the blade, you need it to see the thing you need." She's like staying in the perfect
Well,
spot.
That is the spot. The spot they're standing in is the exact coordinates that it said on the dagger. They said go exactly to here. C-3PO is guiding them to the exact spot.
Okay,
And
then
once
I
they
forgive
stand
that.
in the exact spot,
Okay.
then they see the thing and they're like, oh, all right, well,
Withdraw.
Wait a minute. C-3PO is now leading them to the spot? What's going on?
I didn't
How
know
did this
this.
become a
it's 'cause
legally
the
allowed
multiverse,
thing?
the Spider-Verse, rather. C-3PO is leading them to the spot, and that's going to bring them back.
So 3PO remembers the coordinates?
What they remember they got it out of him and they did the
because
thing.
he could speak Sith now, so he could translate
once
the
they
dagger.
once they rebooted his thing, he could do it. Or maybe no, it was stuck in his memory and they got it out. I don't know. Well, they're using what they got out of C-3PO to get to those exact coordinates. I don't know if he was physically guiding them now, but the coordinates, they translated what he read and got exact coordinates on where to go.
Yeah. So maybe
In
they
addition
just,
to a little poem.
Yeah.
Okay, is this your headcanon or is this in the book?
No. It's
No, it's not your
in the book.
headcanon, or no, it's not in the book. It is in
I
the
don't believe a word of it.
Neither.
But no, it's in the book.
Oh, okay.
In the expanded edition of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker by Ray
Got
Carson,
it, yeah.
New York Times best-selling author.
It is amazing that this Death Star has been sitting here for 30 years and has never moved from this, despite all the huge waves, has never moved from this one particular spot.
Yeah. Considering all that debris was mobile in the first place.
Yeah, and I feel
And like
But I guess it was new
seismic
physics.
shifts and stuff.
Abnormal physics.
and I feel like
Oh,
everything we've
but
Abnormal
again,
physics.
everything we've learned
Yes.
of like looters in the Star Wars universe, how is that ship not completely ransacked?
That's because it could take years to ransack.
Jawas do not like water.
they dissolve.
Have you seen those
Dissolve in
waves?
water. They're water soluble and non-toxic. You can eat them all you want.
I'm looking at, let's say, Rey led them up a steep grassy slope following the coordinates they'd gotten from C-3PO.
Okay.
So they just put him down and let him walk, and
And then they're
follow
like, all
him.
right, well, now they get there and they're like, what, are we going to search the whole thing? That could take forever. And then Rey is just like, oh, wait a minute. What was the thing? What was the poem that C-3PO, from the southern shore, only this blade tells. And so then she looks at the southern shore of the little precipice that they're on. She looks south, and then only this blade tells, and then looks, and then pulls the thing down, and then does the thing.
So, do you think that's the
I would
first
have
time
to-
she pulled that tab out? I mean, if you have like a blade like that, that's pretty important. I feel like you'd be like, "What's this thing do immediately?"
She probably practiced.
But that scene
didn't have
treats
it
it
very
like it's
long
the first
before.
time she's seen it. Like it's like, ooh, cool
I think it is.
Reveal.
Rey peered closer. The dagger's crossguard was hinged, keeping the blade aligned exactly where it was. She used her other hand to gently swing the crossguard down until it clicked into place and pointed at a very specific section of ruin southwest of the super laser lens, a star-shaped structure nestled in a crook of the jutting wreckage.
That's interesting that it's right next to the radar dish, to the dish, right? Is that what you just said? Where
The super laser.
Palpatine,
Southwest of the
laser.
super laser lens.
Lens.
But I thought in Return of the Jedi, the tower that the Emperor was on was like at the North Pole of the Death Star.
Yeah, I just realized about that tower like not too long ago, so this is all
Yeah.
I'm still processing this information.
Okay.
Defend that, Pete.
Here's my abnormal physics explanation for why the Death Star
Abnormal
has
physics.
not
Yes.
moved in that amount of time. You're talking about it going to hyperspace. So the reactor blows up. It temporarily sends the big chunk into hyperspace. It goes down to the planet and then basically comes out of hyperspace while it's still in the solid. Part of it is still in the solid part of the planet. know what I
Okay.
mean? Like it comes out
so
of
it's like
phase.
fused now.
Yeah, so it's like it's like mounted to the bottom of the ocean because it
All
was
right.
it was
I'll accept it. Sure.
it was
All right.
half in there. Anyway, that's my headcanon explanation for it.
All right.
People are feel free to make up their own explanations if they feel
All right.
I agree with that. Fused to the molten rock.
Feel free to.
You know, the blade was, I wonder if it was symmetrical because it had shapes on the other side. I wonder if it had like a little hidden...
They're digging in the wrong place.
Oh.
Yeah. Like if they did it upside down, it would be like the other side of the planet.
Right.
Yeah. So on the other side of
would
the
be-
planet, there's a different Jedi lady holding up a thing, looking at a different.
Yeah.
Some other
mirror
guy in
image.
some other job has that.
Why don't you just
No, if you
tell
flip
me
the
where
dagger
it
over
is?
it, it says in Sith, it says this space is intentionally left blank on the other side of the dagger.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
in Sith?
In Sith.
If I was playing this game though, I'd try for 10 minutes to figure out what to do. Then I'd go for a walkthrough to be like, oh, you gotta point the blade at the Death Star, and look for the shape.
Hey, listen. Like,
Yep. I got it.
yeah, and then this is the I mean, well, I guess what does it this is the way it clicks together. It kind of spans today and tomorrow, but this is definitely the Goonies moment of
Yes,
I know.
that's right. I was thinking of it was the Goonies. I was thinking of other movies that had landscape driven or yeah,
Clues.
like terrain driven clues. Wasn't Romancing the Stone?
Oh.
I wrote down Boob Mountains because there were like two mountains in that maybe. Or, I could be thinking of something else, but
Maybe boobs?
You're thinking of Romancing the
I might
Bone,
just
which
be
was the
thinking of
porn
that,
parody of
yeah.
Romancing the Stone
That's-
that came out in that.
that's
yeah.
right. That's what I'm thinking about. So that's all. So I mean,
Well,
I
pastiche
wanted
and parody.
I wanted an extensive list, but I just came up with Boob Mountains. So that's as far as I got.
New Disney park idea.
Yeah.
Boob
I hear
Mountain.
they're changing it to get rid of the racist stuff. Boob Mountain.
But Goonies, yes.
Yeah, Mad Worlds, right? Does not have
the tree.
Anything else for minute 69? It's Adam's birthday today, by the way.
You're cutting us off. No, that was yesterday. This is Hangover. It's Adam's Boxing Day.
Yeah.
That's why you got the robot out.
So, fellas, do you guys remember the first time you saw the Rise of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker? Did you see it together?
No, we don't see movies together ever.
What about RoboCop?
We saw RoboCop. If they lived in the city, we would.
I feel like we've all been to a movie together. I can't remember what it would have been.
I bet like Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah,
like that.
probably.
Back in the day.
Or the prequel trilogy, like maybe episode 2 or episode 3.
We're into the Sith. We took a big crew, but no, John's not in those pictures.
Oh yeah,
the pictures.
He took them.
He took them.
I was the one taking them. I didn't see this in the theater. I saw it during the pandemic. I'm sorry, that's not a great story, but that's how it happened.
It's a human one.
Yeah,
it is a human story, and it's my story.
Adam, did you pay money to see it in the theater?
Yeah. I already knew the ending because an ex-member of the Listener Society got angry that no one liked the racist stuff he was posting. So then he went and posted the entire ending of the movie, and someone reported it, but didn't give me the heads up. So when I went to go check, I was like, oh, this is really dumb looking. And then erased it, banned that guy. And then I went to the movie theater in Clifton, New Jersey, and sat and watched it. And the whole time I was like, what is this? I don't like this. And and
you knew the ending, and you still didn't.
Yeah, I was like, hopefully there's some context that's gonna make this better. And I just remember like walking out the theater, and I'm just like, whoa, I feel nothing. I'm like, I think Pete was watching it at the same time in California, so I texted him, and I'm like, hey man, did you see it? And he's like, yeah, I just got out of it. I'm like, what'd you think? And he's like, I loved it. And I just I just put my phone away and I just like went home. I was like, something's
just
not
threw your phone in the garbage and went home.
And we haven't spoken since until this very moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only time I'd seen it until maybe 2 weeks ago. Because over the past year, me and Victoria, I've gone through every movie in release order.
In the world.
And as we were getting to this, I kept being like, oh no, I don't want to watch this. And she's like, is it that bad? I'm like, yeah. And I thought maybe it'd be better on the second viewing. It wasn't. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it'll get maybe a little improve over.
I mean, it's just not for me.
experience.
It's not for me. I'm not one who's like, I don't like it. You shouldn't like it. But it's just not my thing.
Maybe if you didn't like it that much, you probably walked out before the credits. It said for Adam.
That was from all of us. We
it was after the whole that they did like 3 screens full of visual effects artists, but then it just said for Adam.
Man,
played a little segment of. Sorry.
That cost us $300 million.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the same on the small screen. I'm sorry, guys. No.
They cut it out of the home video release.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's like Hulk Hogan and the Gremlins.
Or the robot from Rocky IV.
Or
all right.
Or Mario Van Peebles not dying in Jaws the Revenge.
There you go.
Oh man.
There's some like weird limbo where all these things exist, where they're all like hanging out with each other.
And this
Rocky's
is why,
robot and Mario Van Peebles.
This is why I make money selling my VHS tapes on eBay.
There you go.
So that's what I thought you were going to say when you said we just went through watched all the movies. I thought you were going to say all the movies that you own. That would be a good thing. Like if you move, people don't have physical media, I guess, anymore. No, but if you move and you have like, all right, we're gonna either before we move, like maybe we're gonna watch all these movies, and if it's good, we're gonna bring it with us. If not, we're gonna sell it or donate it or whatever, or vice versa. Like, all right, we moved, and we're not gonna we're gonna take out these movies. We're gonna unpack them one by one, unpack it, watch it, and then it goes on the shelf. Otherwise, it stays in the box.
See, I don't have any of my DVDs in cases anymore. I put them all in a big binder to save space. So it's.
I melted them down and put them in a big jug just to save space.
Into one giant DVD.
Yeah, and then it attacked me.
Someone has to save
every
space.
show that I had on.
Someone.
All right. Well, that will wrap up minute 69 of The Rise of Skywalker. You've been listening to us so far 4 days this week, but did you know there's a place you can listen to us a lot more, and that's our old podcast, Alphabetical, which is still available for download. That's where we go through the entire Beatles catalog from a song that starts with the number 12, from 12 Bar Original to, I forget what the Y one was.
Your mother should know.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Your mother should know. But
Your mother should know.
If you guys don't mind me announcing this, we're coming out with the next generation of Alphabetical, every track done by AI. So we're just going to ask it to write 12-bar blues in the style that they were, and then we're going to talk about it.
Joe Dater's never going to talk to us again.
He's the star. He's the new host.
He's the human.
Sellout. He's the human.
With Joe Dater as the human.
What's he do?
He was born to play.
He talks. He learns.
Yeah, we do this show 5 days a week, but on that show you can listen to us do 8 days a week.
Oh,
You're very good.
yes, it
We're
is.
just going to make some bodybuilders angry.
So yes, go to Alphabetical. Do we still have a website for that, Peter? Or is people just find it wherever you get podcasts?
And it's on Spotify.
Alphabetical.com. All right. And it is on Spotify. We go through every single Beatles song. We give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 5. And controversy ensues. So go listen to that, and then go listen to us again tomorrow. Talk about Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker on Star Wars
Star Wars
Minute.
Minute.